Do you fear putting yourself out there because you could be rejected? I mean, maybe the audience isn't going to love you. Well, if so, I'm going to tell you why there's actually a bigger cost that's way greater than the fear of rejection. And once you find this out, it's going to give you permission to share your message. So stay tuned. So fear of public speaking, number one most common fear there is, constantly comes up, but it's typically surrounded around the fear of rejection. So if I put myself out there, people are going to laugh. If I put myself out there, I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm going to ruin my reputation. All these fears come up. So what happens is people mute their voice. They say no to speaking with confidence. So maybe you've been in that situation because you've had opportunities to speak in public, but you said no. The fear got too great, or you start thinking the risk of putting myself out there is way too big versus the reward. So you say no and you miss the opportunity. Or maybe you are speaking, but you're not really speaking your truth. You know, you're going through and you're just saying information, but it doesn't really resonate with you. You're not fully embodied. You're not fully speaking your truth. Well, if that's the case, a lot of this, we have to look at it. It's coming from this place of rejection, where it's fear of putting myself out there, but also there's another cost though, and that's the fear of not putting yourself out there. You know, a lot of times when we look at it, it's, yes, there's a possibility that when you speak, you will say the wrong thing and somebody will be offended. But in order to inspire, to truly make an impact in the world, you have to understand and actually embrace the possibility that somebody is going to be offended. You know, so in order to inspire, you have to possibly offend. In order to stand and really take your audience on a journey to believe in themselves, you have to possibly make mistakes. And so we have to balance these two, because in order to have greatness and to really inspire and make that impact that you want, you have to put yourself out there. So yes, there's definitely a possibility that you will be rejected, but what's the cost? What's the alternative? Well, the alternative is to not speak. And when you don't speak, it's leading to regrets. That's the only guarantee that you're going to have. So we have to stick back and look at it. There's the possibility that you're going to be rejected, but there's a certainty, there's an absolute 100% guarantee. If you say no because of the fear of rejection, you are going to have a regret. And so when we look at it, it's like looking at the two, going, okay, do I want to possibly be rejected, or do I want to absolutely guaranteed lead to regrets? I don't know about you, but for myself, when I'm sitting on my deathbed, do I want to think back and go, okay, well, what am I regretting? And what was the thing that stopped me? Oh yeah, I was afraid that this could happen. There's an infinite number of possibilities that could happen, but people typically fixate on the negative side. I don't want to embarrass, I don't want to freeze, I don't want to blank out, I don't want to be humiliated. But we shortchange the possibility that, what if you actually stand in your power? What if you actually inspire? What if you actually change someone's life just by using your voice and sharing a message that's authentically aligned with you? And so when we focus on gravitating towards that, that's the first piece, is looking at it going, okay, why am I doing this? Big picture, what am I really here for? When you lead from that place and you acknowledge that all these potential fears could exist, but the big piece of actually standing out there, that just, it really trumps all of them. And so when we look at it, you have two choices to make. Either you're going to allow the fear of rejection to stop you from even putting yourself out there, but to make that as your decision, you're also deciding to have massive regrets in your life because you are not saying yes to yourself. You are not saying that the message that you have is important enough to get over the noise of the potential haters and the trolls and the embarrassment. That's the biggest piece. And that's the ultimate rejection, is rejection of self. So when you look at it and you have these opportunities, you got to be honest with yourself and go, okay, if I'm hesitating from putting myself out there because of the fear of rejection, you're also by default rejecting yourself, because you're saying that you are not worthy of putting yourself out there. And that's the ultimate shift that has to happen. And that's why when I work with people and speak with confidence, it's about bringing them inside to face themselves, to see that they are good enough, that their message matters, and that they are giving themselves permission to put themselves out there. And when you do that, that's when you light up and you lead a life without regrets. And that's the piece where you're able to sit back and look with pride. Now, if you want the fast track to get this skill, to get this ability to, one, clarify your message, but two, is to give yourself permission to stand in your power and speak your truth, Speak with Confidence is the fastest way for you to make that happen. We have an immersive training here in Vancouver where we're able to get there. We're bringing you face to face with yourself. You navigate through your fears and you walk out the most powerful version of yourself. So if that's of interest, go to levelupliving.com, book a consultation call. You'll be with myself or one of my team members, And if this program aligns with your goals, I promise you this will be the fastest track for you to get on those stages, to share your message on stage, on video, but more importantly, for you to speak your truth, because at its core, your message matters and you are worth it.